hard to capture, extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifesting. The gods work like appliances, dealing in my sacred life.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explained here, bringing you guys another Boruto chapter discussion. And I think now's the time where we really need to have the conversation about everything that happened in the last Boruto manga chapter. And obviously, from the title, you guys already know what's going on here. So let's just jump right into it. The hell with the spoiler warning, okay? Because I'm titling this one on purpose, because this is the appropriate title for this one. Like, I don't want to say it was Kashin Koji's identity reveal a mistake. No, I want to have a real talk. Now, this is the thing. I've seen a lot of people all over the place. Some people are saying they absolutely hate the fact that Kashin Koji was revealed to be the clone of Jiraiya. A lot of people hate that. A lot of people say, oh my God, it's killing the legacy. A lot of people are basically riding on it and defending it. And I'm someone that's been on both sides. And I definitely think that we need to have this conversation because I see both sides of it. I see the side. I want to start with the negative side. I see the side of the people that say this was a terrible reveal, okay? I totally understand it because Masashi Kishimoto said that the death of Jiraiya was pivotal for Naruto understanding Sasuke's pain. And a lot of people say by bringing Kashin Koji back and having Koji be a clone of Jiraiya, it walks back a lot of the development that Naruto had. I'm going to disagree. I would agree with that take if it was actually Jiraiya himself brought back. I would agree with you on that. However, this is a clone. This is a clone and it fits into what you get with the Boruto series. Boruto has been dealing with aspects of cloning ever since Masashi Kishimoto started introducing it in the Naruto Gaiden chapters that were the spin-off manga that focused on Sarada Uchiha that came out in 2015, when we saw the Shin Uchiha clones. We saw this in the Boruto anime when it comes to Mitsuki. We saw this when it comes to the special one-shot chapter that Masashi Kishimoto did centered around Mitsuki and the fact that he was a clone. And one of the things that Orochimaru was doing in that chapter was allowing Mitsuki, while guiding him towards Boruto, allowing Mitsuki to essentially develop his own personality and find his own path. Orochimaru shows up throughout the Boruto series, whether it be in the novels when he shows up after Sasuke trained Mitsuki and Sarada how to use the Lorentz gun, and he's telling Mitsuki a few things as far as pointers to better use the jutsu and trying to give him encouragement. Orochimaru just pops up to give his son guidance or whatnot, and there were times where he thought about just shutting down Mitsuki altogether, but the fact of the matter is the personality is different. Mitsuki is not a 100% Orochimaru copy. Kashin Koji is not a 100% copy of Jiraiya. While there are aspects of Jiraiya that desire to protect the village, the fact that Koji is potentially getting some of the memories, it's not confirmed, but he's potentially getting some of the memories of Jiraiya. He feels a need to protect the village. He's not the same character. We don't see this guy perving out over women. We don't see the softer side to this guy's character. We don't see those aspects of it. Jiraiya in no way, shape, form, or fashion would have been doing something in a situation where he is killing somebody in cold blood like how he did with Amado. Jiraiya would not have gone in one of those situations where before he saw Boruto's karma, Kashin Koji was willing to kill all the members of the Team 7 that were fighting him. Jiraiya, if he was truly a spy for Konoha or someone who was undermining the Car organization, would have stopped short of that. He would have stopped short of that outside of a war setting. So I don't think that that's a mistake. And I'm going to say right now, I think that when you start looking at it, it kind of makes sense, okay? Because let's be real for a second. Let's have some real talk. Let me put on the Papa Crypto hat for a second, okay? People from Kryptonia saying know what that means. Essentially, what the Boruto franchise is doing is the same damn thing that Masashi Kishimoto did when the Naruto manga sales started declining. Newsflash, that actually happened. Once One Piece started blowing up, where One Piece, much like how Demon Slayer is just gobbling up and breaking records left and right, and how every volume of Demon Slayer just sold millions of copies overnight once the anime adaptation happened. Once One Piece got into the Marineford anime adaptation, you saw this huge sales spike. Like, One Piece was trending up with Annie's Lobby and everything, and the Water 7 part, it was trending up, but it really ballooned with the Marineford anime adaptation, and you saw all these manga volumes starting to fly off the shelves. Well, it's the same thing with Naruto. Naruto, around that time, Naruto had hit its peak, and then Naruto started declining in sales. Still selling a crap ton of manga volumes, but it was still declining in sales. All of a sudden, you see fan service moments. That's how you get the Edo Tensei, where Kabuto shows back up, and Kabuto is bringing back all these different ninja from all these different eras, and we're seeing all these different fan favorites. We're seeing the same thing happen here. We're seeing how the Boruto series is attempting to cash in on the popularity of a character like Jiraiya. Even though it's not Jiraiya himself, that Jiraiya is at the bottom of the ocean right now. At the depths where not even Kabuto could use an Edo Tensei to recover his body. Even though that's the case, this is a separate version of the character. This is a separate version. This is, even though I like to put it like this. What you got with Kashin Koji in this chapter is essentially the Dodge Challenger Hellcat. And this is coming from somebody that was a Hellcat owner, okay? So essentially, what's the difference between a Hellcat Red Eye and a Hellcat? The Hellcat Red Eye has some gearing changes, and the Hellcat Red Eye has more horsepower and has parts from the Dodge Demon, okay? That's another version, but the body is still the same. It's just like a Hellcat. The only difference is that it's literally got a red eye in the middle of the Hellcat logo. I say that to say Jiraiya is the Hellcat. Now, let's just keep it real. Jiraiya, we can maybe even say Jiraiya was the Dodge SRT, and I'm gonna be respectful of Jiraiya. Jiraiya was the Dodge Hellcat, and what you got with Kashin Koji, there was just a few differences. There were a few differences made to the character. Some to where you say, was it really worth it? As somebody owned a Hellcat, when they came out with the Hellcat Red Eye, I said, damn, I gotta get that Red Eye, but damn, man, it's just because they made the small changes. It's the ego thing. Well, it's the same thing here. They made small changes to Kashin Koji. So I think that this is okay. It doesn't ruin Jiraiya's legacy for me. Go back to my Kryptonian saying channel, look at my video on the top 5 fights in Naruto Shippuden and the best anime deaths, or excuse me, the best Naruto deaths. Every time I talked about Jiraiya, I make it clear Jiraiya was one of my favorite characters, and at one point in the series, Jiraiya was my favorite character, and watching his death screwed me up. When I read it in the manga, it screwed me up. When I watched it again in the anime, it screwed me up. Like, I tuned in when those episodes came out because I wanted to see, were they gonna change something? I was stupid enough at the time. I was a freshman in college, and I was stupid enough to think maybe, just maybe, they're going to find a way to make Jiraiya live. I was stupid enough to think that. Even though I was reading the manga, I knew Jiraiya was not going to live. I still held out hope. So I don't say that likely, but I don't think it ruined Jiraiya's legacy. I don't think that it ruins Naruto's character development. Naruto is still going to be the same character after the fact. Naruto's going to be very pissed off. And in some ways, you could argue that adds to Naruto's character development, because Naruto sees the difference in how Kashin Koji was being used, being viewed as a tool, and how you have that situation where Tsunade sent Jiraiya to his death, where you have that situation where Amado is viewing Kashin Koji as a tool, Naruto is viewing him as a person. So I mean, I think that that's okay. I think it's okay. I think it fits into what Boruto's been giving us as a series. Kashin Koji is a clone. A clone is merely a tool to be used by the creator. Just like the scientific ninja weapons tools, it's the same thing. It's either good or bad depending on who's using it. Amado used Kashin Koji. Naruto would not agree with those tactics. Just like how Naruto would not agree with how Kara used the scientific ninja weapons tech, it's the same thing. It's fitting in those same parallels. So do you think it was a bad idea to bring Jiraiya back as a clone for Kashin Koji? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching on to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.